can turn back now or learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Here are the allegations. On December 14, 2012, authorities believe that 20-year-old Adam Lanza shot his mother 4 times at close range and then proceeded to the Sandy Hook Elementary School where he, again allegedly, murdered 26 people, 6 adults, 20 children. We add one more person to the body count here because Adam Lanza committed suicide when first responders arrived on the scene. That's Matt behind the camera. I'm Ben. That makes this stuff they don't want you to know. Now, it might sound like we're overusing the word allegedly, but again, until there's a prosecution or proven case in a court of law, we still need to say allegedly. What we're going to do here is talk about that official story. Quite a few people were excited that we were going to cover Sandy Hook, and unfortunately we weren't able to get into as much detail as we would have liked in our previous video. So what we're going to do right now is talk about some of the conspiracy theories or the facts or the misinformation that you'll commonly hear when people say that there's more to the Sandy Hook shooting than the mainstream is letting on. We're not taking a side in this, but we just want to give you some of these facts. So let's run down the list. Number one, by far the most popular idea here, is that there were second or multiple shooters at the scene. Now, of course, there are several reports of these. There's a report that there were 2 men who fled in a van. There's a report that there was a man found in the woods. Now, the local paper, the Newton Bee, said that a law enforcement official told them the man in the woods had a gun. He was apparently an off-duty tactical police officer from nearby. There's another person, Chris Manfredonia, the father of a 6-year-old student at the school. He was handcuffed by the police and detained as he tried to find his daughter. Another unidentified man was briefly detained and later released. Lieutenant Paul Vance, who works for the state of Connecticut as a media relations representative, he dismissed the notion that there were other shooters. He did say, however, that authorities did detain and release other individuals. The question is, for numerous theorists, the question is, were these individuals actually firing weapons? Question number 2. Was Adam Lanza on some sort of medication, or did he have a mental disorder? It was initially reported that Adam Lanza was prescribed a drug called Fanapt. Among the side effects of Fanapt are restlessness, aggression, delusion, hostility, confusional state, mania, mood swings, panic attack, some pretty nasty stuff. However, the authorities said they found no evidence that Adam Lanza was being medicated for a mental illness. They were, and perhaps continue, to look through his cell phones, computers, computer games, but so far, at the last report, they found nothing that said he did take medication. We would love more information about this if you have found any. The second part, the part about mental illness, is a little bit trickier because the question here, he was diagnosed when he was younger with sensory processing disorder, which is still somewhat of a controversial diagnosis. His parents told people that their son had Asperger's syndrome, and of course that's a higher form or a higher functioning form of autism. Next, the ideas about the weapons used. Dr. H. Wayne Carver II, who was the chief medical examiner, said that an assault rifle appeared to be responsible for the children's deaths. Now, this caught a lot of people askance because there were 4 handguns found, allegedly, again, in the school. Initial reports said that there were 3 guns found at the scene, 2 handguns and a rifle. Now, The Blaze writes that the explanation here is that Lanza left the shotgun in his car, but he had the other 3 weapons when he walked into the school. Those being a Bushmaster AR-15, a Glock 10mm, and a SIG 9mm. The 4th weapon, the shotgun, was apparently in the trunk. And remember that we mentioned the car here because there's one last thing that this will tie into later. All right, so next. Now, numerous mainstream sources are saying that the initial information that was incorrect was misinformation. In other words, unintentional, whereas disinformation would be purposely misleading. But let's keep going. The retractions of the initial statements are throughout this story. The Newton B had several retractions, including questions or statements about someone alleged to be a nurse at Sandy Hook, questions or statements about someone alleged to be a principal, and so on. Another one, people have said that the memorials which sprang up online after the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting actually had a timestamp that said they were created before the shooting occurred. That's weird, right? That's a very strange thing. There have been some people out to debunk this by saying that it is possible to alter the dates of a post on WordPress, for instance, or on another platform in retrospect. And just because the timestamp is not in a sensible fashion or it looks prearranged, that does not necessarily mean that there's shenanigans going on. But what do you think? Let us know. The next thing, Lanza and the car. Did he own the car? Did his mother own the car? There was a fellow named Rodia, R-O-D-I-A, who was rumored to be the owner of the car. At least that is until Joe Quinn, a blogger, got the police audio and was able to show that this Rodia fellow appeared on a scanner because he was getting pulled over at a traffic stop a few miles away. This would mean that he's not a second driver, just somebody else who unfortunately had their name pulled into it. Now, these are by no means the only questions, nor the only theories about the Sandy Hook shooting. Some stuff does get a bit bizarre, a bit unorthodox. For instance, the Professor James Tracy, a communication professor at Florida Atlantic University, had claimed that there could be crisis actors. What that means is that he is alleging that paid professionals pretended to be people's parents. Let's think about that. Paid actors portraying actual parents. Now, this, if it were true, would be profoundly disturbing. Of course, James Tracy later backed away from these remarks and said that it did look like a genuine tragedy. Here's another one. Jason Howerton. He is the person writing for The Blaze who covered Dr. James H. Fetzer, Professor Emeritus at University of Minnesota, Duluth. Now, this is one of the crazier ones because here Dr. Fetzer says that maybe Mossad did it, and his evidence there is admittedly thin in our experience. Before we get to the last few things here, we did want to take a second to say that one of the most surprising moments of our investigation here was to see how emotionally charged these events are. There were a lot of people who were asking questions in the beginning of these investigations, legitimate, valid questions, and they were being shut down because it was considered offensive or tasteless to ask these questions. And that's always, I can't speak for you, Matt, but for me, that's always a bit of a red flag, a yellow flag at the very least, when there are questions one is not supposed to ask. With that out of the way, we do want to say thank you. Gun control was way bigger than we imagined it would be. We'd like to revisit this, especially with some other shootings that we were not able to investigate at this time. So that would be the Anders Breivik shooting in Norway, of course Columbine, of course Virginia Tech, several other places. We'd also like to learn a little bit more about the international gun trade and what effect, if any, it does have on domestic U.S. policy. So here's that one last thing that we think you might find interesting. Adam Lanza. Where are we going to get the answers to these questions? The mainstream is saying that these questions have been answered. The conspiracies have been debunked. The conspiracy theorists are saying that there is a shutdown on the information, or that it's suppressed, or that, again, there's certain questions one is simply not supposed to ask. And there are certain answers we can't get right now because, believe it or not, prosecutor Stephen Sedensky III successfully argued in December of 2012 to keep the search warrant affidavits and applications related to Lanza's house and car sealed for another 90 days. He said that disclosure would jeopardize an ongoing investigation. He said at the time no arrests were anticipated but had not been ruled out, which is interesting. who would be arrested in this situation? So other people are saying that the record should be unsealed, saying that the public has a right to see these documents. These documents, by the way, include what exactly was found in the Lanza house, in the Lanza car. They're arguing that these records should only be sealed when investigation would be hurt by disclosure. Linda Peterson, chairwoman of the Freedom of Information Committee of the Society of Professional Journalists, is one of these advocates. It's quite a mouthful of a title, but she makes a good point. She says, there seems to be absolutely no reason that they would need to seal these records. It's not going to jeopardize the case in any way. William Fish, who represented the media in other high-profile cases that were sealed in Connecticut, also believes the sealing does not appear justified. So what exactly was found in Adam Lanza's car? What was found in his house? What do these search affidavits say? For now, that is sealed, which makes it literally stuff they don't want you to know. So again, thank you to everybody who took the time to watch our videos this week and previous weeks, and hopefully in the future. We've got some exciting stuff coming up. Now, we weren't able to do gun control as much as we would like to, so perhaps we'll come back to this. As always, we want to say thank you to some of our YouTube comments of the week. I should recall the name, but there is a very astute YouTube commenter on our Monday video who pointed out that more people die due to medical mishaps in the United States than die due to guns. And until about 2015, I think more people are believed to die of traffic accidents rather than gun violence. Now, of course, the latest projections show that post-2015, more people will be dying of gun-related injuries. It's an interesting study. We'll put it on the blog. You can check it out. Just click the link below us here. And that's it. We're doing one new thing, especially for our new listeners. If you'd like to see more stuff they don't want you to know, we're going to start posting our older videos on the weekends. We'll do one every Saturday. We'll try to make sure it relates to the week of new videos that we've done. I don't think of it maybe as a creepy Saturday morning cartoon. Again, thank you so much for watching. Matt and I are going to disappear and work on our next week's episodes. Spoiler alert, that's going to be Hugo Chavez. So let us know what you think. Write to us on Facebook. Find us on Twitter at Conspiracy Stuff, or send us a good old-fashioned email at conspiracy@discovery.com.